PSU. I had time to plan a protest because PSU and Portland and this entire world does not listen. And we will be out here and continue to be out here until they listen. Because if they did it the first time, this world would not have lost Jason Washington. And no one would have to have lost a wife, husband, friend, or father. Thank you.
All right, this is going to be our last call for anybody who would like to get on our speakers list before we march to the campus public safety office. So if you are a PSU student or if you knew Jason Washington and you would like to speak, please come down. The speakers list will be over here. Next we have Thomas Gian.
Etienne.
Huh? Etienne. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Thank you. Hello. I was a PSU student from 2006 to 2010, and I didn't know Jason Washington personally, but I did know him because I'm a veteran, and so was he. And when I saw the story a few days ago, I recognized immediately someone that I knew, somebody who risked their own personal safety to intervene on behalf of taking care of his community, to do something, to act. And even though he was legally carrying a weapon, he didn't bring that out. He didn't try and dominate the situation or try to take somebody else's life, okay? And yet, just like Ricky Best, who was also an Army veteran a year ago, who was killed on the Max line, those of us who will place ourselves at risk to protect others. Now that's a true patriot. That's somebody who really cares. And somebody who understands that security isn't a function of arming people with guns. That's not what security is. That's not how it works. And I've learned that through my own experience being in modern warfare. And it really impacts me in a very deep way, the fact that our endless wars that don't have a true purpose or a true strategy behind them, the effects of them have come home. And that one thing, those things are connected to one another. We wouldn't be in this place today. What evolved out of Ferguson and Baltimore and the rise of Black Lives Matter, that doesn't come from nowhere. It comes because of a posture of when a perceived threat exists, the correct posture or the correct decision is to eliminate it immediately. No, that's not security. So I wanted to say that, and I respect, and I'm going to miss a fellow brother right there for what he did. Thank you.
Next we have Hannah Morris, sorry. I come from a wide-ass family. They're conservative and they love guns. They forced me to learn how to use guns when I was a little kid. I didn't want to. They scared me. When I fired the gun, it scared me. It doesn't feel good to have that much power in your hand. It is not right to have the power to take another life in your hands. Even if it's an animal, if it's a person, they're all living things. And it's just wrong to be able to have that power. And it just scares me so much. I don't feel safe on campus knowing the police have guns and they have the power to take a life with just the finger on the trigger. It's not right, and we need to stand up and do something about it so no other innocent lives are lost. I'm going to just give you a quote from Victor Hugo now because I feel like it's very relevant. Revolutions spring not from accident, but from necessity. A revolution is a return from the fastidious to the real. It takes place because it must, and I think it must right now. Thank you.
I just had somebody come up to me and ask for me to say that not only should we disarm PSU, and should we demand that there be safety on our campus, but that we stop recognizing people like the people who killed Jason Washington as heroes, we recognize people like the people who were killed in the Max killing last year, and people like Jason Washington as heroes. Those are the people who are heroes, and they were killed for doing nothing, so they're doing nothing wrong. I have a statement here from Tal, who is somebody who wanted to share their words here today but couldn't be here because they are currently at the Abolish ICE occupation. So they say, in solidarity with PSU students, call to disarm PSU police in the wake of Friday's fatal shooting. On Friday, June 29th at 1:30 a.m., a father, a grandfather, a veteran was shot and killed by Portland State Police. Meanwhile, unaccountable human beings, children, people with families, with names, with histories and dreams are killed by ICE and Border Patrol. These stories are vastly different and require us to honor and hold space for all their differences. But these tales share a common theme. The private prison and military industry is a death machine that turns black and brown bodies into profits, and police brutality keeps the machine running. As a Vietnamese person, I know about what happens when you allow for the absolute corruption of the police and power-hungry capitalist authoritarian state to warrant control over our lives. It's simple. My people are openly brutalized, murdered, and disappeared daily. As a Vietnamese American immigrant, I see America's fervor for fascism and its militarized police, and it makes me really fucking angry. I am angry that black and brown bodies have been colonized, violated, and exploited for over 500 years for the sake of imperial wealth and corporate gains. I am angry that white America has continued its racist, genocidal legacy for so long, first of the indigenous peoples, then of black peoples, then of people of color everywhere. Children being torn apart from families, black and brown people being incarcerated and imprisoned, black and brown people being killed by the police or federal forces. This is not new. Black and brown lives don't matter in white America. We have always been disposable here. The police, as a strong arm of the state, is not designed to hold accountability for the human lives that have sworn under oath to protect. They are trained to target and profile black and brown bodies, to instill fear so as to command order. They are conditioned to view themselves as necessary cogs in a death machine to detach their humanity from a job that has robbed so many of their lives. Sean McKenzie and James Dewey, how will you ever repair the harm that you have caused? How many times do we have to say their names for you to remember your own humanity? We will not wait for the police state. We will not lie down for fascism. We will not allow white supremacy to kill us. We will rise up, fight back. We will disarm the police because they can't protect us with their guns. We will disarm the police because they are taught to turn those guns against us. We will disarm the police because of all the black and brown lives that have been taken and can never be given back. Xinga la migra, end the police state, disarm PSU.
Next we have Ulysses Torres.
First I'd like to say thank you for everyone who came out today. You really appreciate it, especially the black and brown people who are here. It's definitely a struggle to get out of our homes and show up so bravely at these places because of the way that we are so often criminalized. 2 years ago, I was at PSU when I received a text message with a link that led to a headline that showed the name of my childhood friend who had been killed by a transit police officer. His name was Terrell Johnson. And immediately I began to see how he was criminalized in the media, and it was really difficult to read those things and understand how the words that were being put out in the media have real life impacts on black and brown people. And so in seeing Jason Washington and what happened to him, just a few hours after he was killed, there was an article already being put out on the Oregonian where he was already being labeled as a suspect, and the officers were being seen as using their service weapons. And I asked myself, what the fuck does that even mean? Service to who? Because it's definitely not us. And I don't know Jason Washington, but I don't need to know him to know that he was an incredible person. He was a father, he was a husband, he was somebody that mattered. And I myself have also been going out with my partner to the Occupy ICE rallies, and we were just at a vigil the other night, and in a place where people were just coming in solidarity to tell stories, we could see from the top of the roof that there were fucking guns pointed at us. And I think that it's ridiculous that the people that are trying to fight for justice and that are just asking to be treated as equal human beings are being treated like animals, are having guns pointed at them. And so I ask all white people who are here today, one way that you can stop, you can help and be our allies is to shut any type of racism down. Any type of racism. Because brown and black people are so often having to do it, so often having to intervene or de-escalate situations because of racism, just like Jason Washington was doing, and we're the ones who pay for it. And unfortunately, y'all are the ones who have the power and who police don't shoot at. And so I ask you, after this rally, we're still going to need you because this is just the start of getting justice for Jason Washington. So please say his name and thank you.
Say his name.
Jason Washington!
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 Next up to speak, we're going to have Andre Washington.
So feeling all types of ways today. My name is Andre Washington. As you probably know, Jason Washington was my little brother. And I want to make sure you heard that he was my little brother that was taken from this planet. Jason didn't just lose a brother, but his wife lost a husband. His 3 daughters lost a father. His granddaughter lost a grandfather. Friends lost friends. I graduated from Courthouse State University and I'm disgusted. That's all I have to say. And our family will not be making any further comments outside of this. Thank you.
Our last speaker is Wallace Moreland. Yeah, they said they don't want to come up, so we'll do 3 more minutes of silence for Jason Washington.
We're gonna move this back. We have to move. All right. So we're going to march to Portland State, to the campus public safety office. When we get there, we will have sheets of paper that say why you want to disarm PSU that you can post on the door so the campus security will see them. We're going to have a few more words, and then we're going to wrap up. But we'll chant his name as we go down there. So please follow us out this way. We're going to turn left, we're going to turn left again, and then we're going to continue towards PSU. Thank you.
Got a sign.